Welcome to Trading Lounge and the European Indices for Thursday, December 2nd. Now, I don't have all the answers today, but let's work through what we know and share that. So on the Euro stock here, this is the weekly chart, and the first thing that we can really see here is we can see that we've got a nice clear wave 1 and 2. So we don't really have a fourth wave yet, and I think that's what we're unfolding into. And this little horizontal line here around the 3,830 is the 38.2% retracement level, the 40% retracement level from wave 2 to wave 3 here. So that's what we'd be looking at. But of course the 15,000, or the 4,000 here, which is a medium level, is offering some really nice support for this market. So of course we need to contend with that as well. But even so, you know, if this is the top of wave 3 here, on the weekly chart here, we've only really got sort of 2 weeks in this beginning here. So we can see the size of wave 2 here. So, you know, we should be getting like more here for this. The stochastics is just starting to, was on its way. It's rolling over, but it's certainly not into a buying position like wave 2 was at that particular point in time. So we may end up being here for quite some time, I think. It's just a possibility. We need to consider that. And just moving into the daily chart here for a moment. So my confusion in my mind is that I'm not sure if we should look at this as the A wave to here and then the B wave to here and then drift on down lower here towards the where we're looking at here, or we need to go into wave B at this point and then come down. So that's the two scenarios. So on the 4-hour chart here for this is a case story where we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the A wave here, the A, the B, and the C here. You could probably look at that as a WXY. It hasn't quite reached its 50-60% retracement level, and so I don't know at this point. So we could be looking here at 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 to come down here further in that case, or we could be looking to go up here further by putting wave A over here for this. So on the 1-hour chart we can look, oh no, still got it like that, haven't we? So this is the same count in a way. So looking at it coming down here as wave 1, an A and a B and a C for wave 2 here, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third, fourth and fifth for the A wave here, the B wave here, and the C wave over here. You could put that as a WXY as well there. So the B wave hasn't reached its thing, so yeah, we need to just go into, I'll just go to the tick chart to see what I've done here as well for this, and we'll talk about this a little bit more. It's 2 enough. Yeah, so I've still got wave A over here for this, with in this case a WXY over here with an ABC pattern coming in through there. Looking at this here as down for 1 here, coming back for 2 here. So I guess I won't know if we're going to go higher for a B wave up here, especially if we copy that and put this here as the A wave here, and then look at this as an A and a B and a C wave coming back up into this box. I mean, obviously the markets look really weak at the moment, and but that's the point where you got to be sort of careful as well. They have rolled over and they have come down to 4,000, and they're kind of finding some support down here. So this is where we need to be a little bit careful. But I think that in this case here, if we take that, that's the 61.8% here for this wave 2 here. If we take this here, the 4150, and if we get support on that, then you know that we're going to the upside at that point. So I know it's not a great help, but at least it's something at that stage, But otherwise, we just need to be careful around this area through here. Let's have a look at the DAX and see where that is. It's pretty much in the same situation here. So this is the weekly chart here, and once again the reason for showing this is twofold. Is one, just to point out that we've got wave 1 and 2 in place, and it looks like we've got the nice third wave here. The fourth wave, 38.2%, comes back in at 14,340 sort of area here for wave 4. So we haven't reached down here into wave 4 yet. We haven't got that nice mature corrective pattern. It looks like we're just starting this, but it's possible that we could also be finishing this as well. Alessio, who does our stock charts, mentioned this count that I'm going to show you now, which is wave 4 is an expanded flat correction. So that brings us with wave 1 here and 2 here, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for wave 3, with an A, B, C, D and E here for that. So that's quite suitable as well. The only thing that sort of haunts me about this a little bit is that this wave 3 here is a little bit shorter than the wave 1 here. But apart from that, I mean, that doesn't really matter too much, because even so, this wave 1 that we've got from here to here, basically, is still longer than our wave 3 here anyway, you know, if we call this in as a wave 3 over here. So yeah, that's just saying, you know. So anyway, we know the DAX is a little bit lazy. It's just been traveling sideways, and it's possible that we could look at it like that. So that in that case, that means that wave E here could actually be finished at this point, because we've got wave E would need to be in 3 waves here. So we can look at this in due course. And on the 1-day chart here, which we've been working with, the same thing sort of goes here as well. Now, we can put the, I'll just put in the medium level. I don't know where it's gone, but probably deleted it by mistake. So 15,000 in double weight, that's there. And also too, we need 16.5 as well, 16.5. And as I mentioned on one of the other markets, Nasdaq it was, yes. So because the Nasdaq's around the same price. So what we can do here is we can look at this, because we're working levels, the halfway mark's always really important. So as I mentioned on the S&P this morning, the 15,750 here, I'll just put that in there and configure that, is also a very important number within all of this here. It's just the halfway mark between those, but we can see that it's playing out here, and I think that we should just pop that in there. So first of all, this is the 38.2% retracement level. It hasn't come back to here. So look, my bottom line is I don't really know. I don't know which way the market's going to go at this point with this here. Now, obviously, there's good support at the 15,000 here, the medium level. I don't know if we should. The bottom line is I don't know if we should put wave A here or over here. That's the thing for this. Now, it would make sense to put it here on this low and look at the market to go back up to, you know, have a decent retracement back up into this space, which we don't have at this stage. So this is what we need. This is what I need to work through. I don't have an answer today for this on the 4-hour chart. The same. This is one way to look at it, with 1, 2, 3 and ABC for 4 here and down for 5 here to get wave A here, and then go back for wave B. So that's one way to look at it. I don't have my 15,000 here either. Wonder what happened to that. So just pop it back in. That's okay at that point, we'll leave it there. but yeah, I mean, that's where the market's dancing. So yeah, I mean, it's also possible to look at it like this, with wave 1 here and 2 here, 3 here and 4 here and 5 here. It's making a few assumptions actually, but it's one way to look at it, you know. So if we break lower down here, it will be either wave 4 coming down here, which is probably more likely when you look at the bigger picture and looking for, you know, a more complicated wave 4 to come into play. Just drilling in here to the 1 hour chart. The other way to consider this is that we don't need that wave 1 up there because that's not correct. We're working both counts. So we could look at it as wave A down here and then a WXY for B. But once again, it hasn't quite reached where we wanted it to reach. I don't know if that's that important or not. But you can see that the market's come down and bounced off this support here. And that's all it's doing. It's just bouncing. Yeah, I mean, we can count 5 waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in here for wave 3, 4 and 5. So this wave 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 over here for this is okay. I mean, maybe the B wave's just still got more to go here. This is what I don't know, you know. I mean, maybe we could put this over here and put the B wave back up over here and have this here, and then we're looking for some other little thing here and then up. I really don't know, so I don't want to lead anybody astray. I'm better off saying I don't know, and kind of, you know, leaving it at that a little bit. But if we do get a clean break down here, which looks a bit likely, doesn't it? So we need to kind of understand that as well. I mean, none of this is finished off quite very well. So I think that we're in some sort of corrective pattern here. I just haven't pinned it down. So on the tick chart here, let's take a closer look at this. So with the tick chart here, we can get rid of that and put in our wave 3 up there in one way or another. It is. So yeah, look, we've been busy counting it down, as you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So that's all kind of suitable. I mean, it counts quite nicely here as 5 waves as well, because otherwise I could have it here as, you know, I could put this wave 4 all the way over here with some sort of A, B, C, D, E over here for that, but I don't think that's the case. So yeah, how to work all of this. I think this is probably more important over here for this. I have to say, it does this little move here, if I can just work with this for a moment. So it looks like here that we've actually got a little, it's not the best 5 wave structure to the upside, because wave 4 overlaps wave 1 here. But apart from that, 1, 2, yeah, I didn't know. It doesn't finish off very well here as well, but obviously it's the end of the US session. So it kind of looks okay for a little. Oh, you suppose you could look at that as an A wave, a B wave, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But still overlap here as well. But the other point here, if I look at this as 1 and 2 here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for third wave, fourth wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. I mean, it looks like an impulse wave here. So we couldn't really go to the up. We can allow the market to come back to this point in one way or another, which I think that it's trying to do. But it's only if it gets support on top of this level here that obviously that will go higher from that point. So you would need that there. So yeah, I mean, it certainly can move down to this point and then move lower here. We can certainly look at this as as wave 1 here and wave 2 back to that point. So yeah, just to be careful at that point. Let's just have a look at the FTSE. I just want to see where that's at the moment. So the same thing here as well. We've got a clear 1 and 2 here. So this is a bit of a dog's breath here, this whole move here. But it has its moments. It edges higher. Obviously, there's probably different ways to count this, but I think that I've accounted for it reasonably well. But we're still left in here with this wave 4 here. We don't want this wave 4 to overlap wave 1 over here at this degree of structure, but that is the 38.2% retracement level here. So it can come down here, like the DAX on the 15,000. This is on the 7,000 here with a reasonable support. And yeah, I mean, you would just assume that this is just the first leg down here in one way or another, because we haven't really had a nice sort of B wave that's kind of clear, and the C wave here that's, you know, on this side of it. So we're obviously, you know, yeah, we'll just move in and have a look. It's can't say until you've looked at the detail, really. So I mean, in this case here, we could look at all of this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the A wave here, then the A, the B, and the C coming back up here for the B wave, and, you know, then coming down for the C. I just feel that we need something. We're not getting, it's complicated, but it's not complicated enough to be, not large enough to be a wave 4 at this point. I just don't know how to resolve this. That's my problem. I mean, if I take it step by step, then, you know, we've been down here from the top of 5 waves for 1, A, B, C for 2, that's okay. Wave 3, 4, and 5 here, but wave 2 complicated, wave 4 simple. Is that good enough? Or should we put this as wave 4 over here, you know, and look for one more low here? So maybe if we get a low in here, then we can look at it as that, you know. So I just don't know if we're going to go up or down. I'm sorry about that, but I think what we need to do here, if we go to the tick chart, just want to check on that low here. See, in this case, we've got a better 5. That's what I was sort of looking for, sort of in the background, looking for a better impulse wave to the upside. And this one here is better. I mean, can we use this as a nice lead from the other markets, you know? I mean, there's a nice little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in there, and here we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5. So there's, you know, there's a bit of overlap there, but apart from that, it's sort of okay-ish. Let's just fill in the dots here. Try to find stuff that we do know. So this is in the 50-60% box here, right? So as a you know, if this was an A wave or wave 1 and pulling back for wave 2 here, it's in the box. We wouldn't want to see it going any lower, but it does look impulsive of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So it does look impulsive. So that means that, well, technically we can just go short below here if there's any breach of that. You could probably do it there as well on that, but I'll leave that with you to decide. Yeah, and on the long side here, you know, if this is 5 waves down through to here, we can check on that in a minute, but even as an A and a B and a C back to this box here, we couldn't go long unless we had support on that level. And because we're working with 100 here, that's a minor level, then we would have 10, 20, and 30. So to go long, if it was me, I would want to have support on top of that, on top of group 1 here for that. So I would want to see a classic trading levels pattern sitting on here. And we may get it on the Friday. That's why I'm drawing it out here. We may not get it today, but Friday in our bullish weekly cycle may have that for the long side there. So that's where I would be going long, and we're above the 61.8%. And if this is 5 waves down here, or if it is 3 waves down here, then this would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and keep continuing to build at that point. So here, that's the point that we would, you know, we could go long at that point. So what do we have here? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's one structure. this is 1, 2, 3. There's probably all of that there. That's higher than that. That kind of just leaves us with sort of 3 waves here. So that means that this, if I can just use these for the time being, that would be there. That would have to be there. That would have to be the third of another one, but then that would have to be the 4th wave there as well. So that would be 4 and 5 to that one. I'm just working backwards because I can see it backwards, and that has to be, I suppose that could be the 3rd, but it's a bit sharp there for that. So I'll leave that there. That would leave us with 1 and 2 up here, and then we would also need can we use that? Is that 5 waves? That's 5 waves. So then we're left with, well, that's in the wrong place then. Okay, I just had to pause it and put these in place here. So it looks like we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for 1 and 2 here, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third, 5 of third, fourth, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it does look impulsive down here, but this little move up here, if that is 5 waves up here, because I don't think I can count it any different unless I count that as the A wave, the B wave and the C wave here, which is possible. The thing that also haunts me here a little bit, this also looks impulsive here as well with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So that means that it could actually come down here again for a C wave before moving up to this space. So on that basis, I want to take that away from that point and there. So we'll look for the short trade up in this box here somewhere for that. Okay, so I guess one way to look at this is that if the 71.30 becomes the support, you can go long at that point. However, if the market does move up through here and then comes back down and finds the 7.1 here as the resistance, then you can start looking for short trades at that point. But you'd need a classic trading levels pattern here for that, to short that. So it needs to be tested before you can short it. And we'd look for the short position based on this being 5 waves in this move here. I should have spent a little bit more time looking at the flip side of this to see if it could be counted as a corrective pattern, which it probably could. It would have to be an A, B, C to this point as an A wave and then a B wave to here, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Makes the B wave a little bit too small though for that. So I'm going to stay with the impulse wave here on this. I guess on the short side here, because that's the 61.8%, if the 70.50 becomes the retested resistance here, then you could look for the short trade at that point, but otherwise look for it further up here. Alrighty, I'll leave it at that. So yeah, I don't have any answers really on the configuration of some of these patterns here. So yeah, so that impulse wave here looks sort of a bit more correct at that point. So we're heading up into this box here for the DAX, but it still doesn't help me in determining what structure that we're going through in the bigger picture here for this. So yeah, apologies about that. I don't want to lead you astray. So I'm a little bit unsure about this whole little pattern through here. I felt like the pattern would have been okay, but then we've got that news break here, and it's obviously pushed the markets down. if I could get this here and stick it back up to here, then the B wave would be in place up here if we didn't get that, you know, sharp move down. But that's a bit wishful sort of thinking and cutting and pasting and, you know, basically photoshopping the structure. So that's not really the way to go. But it has left me a little bit confused here. So yeah, I just want to give it more time, and if I can figure it out, then obviously I'll share that. But in the meantime, I just want to see more price action to take us forward. Alrighty, thanks for tuning in. Cheers.